Hey guys, welcome to part 16 of Let's Play Daxter on the PSP. In the last episode we explored the tanker once more and found out that the tanker was associated to the Baron. Who knew that the leader of Metal City is associated to Dark Eco, which is a big deal in this world. It's all just coming together plot-wise. That's what I'm trying to say here. So now we have arrived in the Baron's palace, where we have to investigate, I guess. I mean, Daxter was all like, well, there's Dark Eco and Baron's associated. That can't be good. Although the Baron could just be disposing of it. We don't know. Well, I've played Jak 2, so I do know, but for the sake of this game, we don't know.
This is not gonna be good. Daxter, it's time to get your own self the hell out of here!
Well, okay, that plan has already gone out the window. We're not here to investigate the Baron and stop his evil ways. We walk in, one alarm goes off, and Daxter's like, you know what, I'm happy with leaving right now. I'm pretty content with not being here. Like, we've seen so much worse over the course of the game. We've seen the Hive Queen. We've defeated her twice, or two different ones, I guess. And then we've seen a lot of bugs and all that, but we walk in here, a couple of spikes. Daxter's like, you know what, a man has his limits. An Otzel, I'm only one Otzel, there's just no way I can possibly get through all this. Although, you know, granted, this is pretty dangerous. I wouldn't say this is one of the hardest levels in the game though. We are right at the end, as I already mentioned. We only have, this is the second to last level of the game, so there we go, Baron's Palace. We got 75 precursor orbs and 60, I saw the 6, I saw the 5, I was going to say 65, okay? Let's not judge. Yeah, we have 55 enemies to kill, although, I don't know. I don't think there's that many enemies to kill. It's not that big of a deal. We've already killed 8, so... Was I just sliding? I wasn't looking at the screen. I do that a lot, and I think I've already mentioned it, but sometimes I'm just not looking at the screen. And I think I just missed Daxter sliding. I mean, that's not correct. That's not how an Otzel moves. As an expert in Otzels and their movement, I know that's not how it's done. Right, so something that I've got to say straight away, I should have really started the part. Instead of doing the intro, I should have started off with this, but I made a mistake, if you can even believe it. At the end of the last part, we had a cutscene where Daxter tricked a guy into being all like, oh, we're cool, and you know, some classic comedy where it's a bad excuse but they get away with it, and it's all good fun. I said that the guy in the cutscene was Torn, who's one of the rebels. Turns out that's completely untrue. I looked it up in between parts just because I said he was Torn because he was conflicted. No, I said he was Torn because he just looks like him. And I don't know, in my head that seems really cool because Torn is the rebel leader, or one of the rebel guys in Jak 2. So I thought that would be really cool if that was Torn. And so I kind of just said it without properly... Oh dear. Oh, that was close. That can be pretty tricky to do. You're most likely going to die and hit those spikes. It's a bit awkward turning around, but I did it. Yeah, I thought that was Torn, and I thought that would be cool. That would be cool, right? This is a prequel to Jak 2. Wouldn't it be cool if we saw some characters that we don't know that much backstory on? See them in a different context. But no, that's just Rol? I can't remember how to say the name. E-R-O-L. I used to know how to say the name back when I played Jak 2, but that was a good while ago now at this point. But yeah, that was Rol, who is one of the bad guys in Jak 2, and then he becomes more, let's just say, more significant to the plot in Jak 3, and just goes under a few changes, so it becomes kind of a bit more of a big deal in that game. So yeah, so that's him. So we don't really get that much insight into the game, and I guess it's nice to see Daxter interact with him. But I think my idea is so much cooler. My idea is so much better than just, the bad guy from the old games is still the bad guy. I don't know. It was a little bit of wishful thinking, but there we go. Right, so yes, Baron's Palace. I've already burned through quite a lot of this. We've already gone from like a palace to like there was a garden section, and now we're already in like a library. it's all gone a bit weird, but yeah, so the beginning section, not too much problem. I guess this level is kind of hard because, well, this jump is hard. I really don't like it at all. Oh, yep, I thought that would happen. Yes, so the big thing with this level and why you could argue that it is actually quite tricky, even though I said it wasn't, is because there's so many things that just instantly kill you. So those spikes that, you know, almost cartoonishly came out of the ground when we went towards them at the beginning of the level, instant kill. All you have to do is scrape along them and you're just instantly dead. No, you get hurt and bounce around. You just instantly die. And as you just saw there, these lasers right here also just in... Oh, bloody hell. That wasn't me trying to demonstrate. That was me just... I'm going to blame the PSP analog stick on that one. Yeah, that wasn't my fault. PSP analog stick. In a way, well, it was my fault, but in a way it was the PSP analog stick because I was trying to pull back because I instantly realised my mistake as I walked up towards it, but it was too late for me, and now I'm dead, so let's try that again. So something that can catch you out here that I've already done a couple times is that these lasers, you got to crawl underneath them. So that it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but I can't remember the last. Oh dear. Oh, how am I meant to do this? This is really annoying. This bit, this one jump over here, because you gotta. Oh dear, I've messed that up. I've messed this up. Yep, I messed up. Because you gotta be, or the thing is that, or something that's quite interesting with these lasers is that it puts you in a position where you have to be the right height. Like, it's crucial. I'm not gonna kill the enemies anymore. It's a waste of time. I've already missed a ton of enemies to kill, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, this is something different because you have to be the exact right height. You can't be just like in the air. So, okay. Oh, I kind of clipped through them there. So yeah, so with these sections, I would recommend just using the flamethrower all the way through. Although there are a couple of points where we're going to have to use just the normal bug spray to hover, just to make sure that we're the exact right height. Because you just have to be, or just, as you've already seen, instant death. But yeah, that section there, that jump is like the hardest jump, I think. Arguably in the game. I mean, this is one of the later levels, and that jump, it just gives me trouble. Because one thing about this level is that you have to crawl, you have to climb up on top of things, you have to hover, but you're going to see, we haven't really seen it yet, but it can be really finicky in this level. Like, see, I'm right there, Daxter didn't grab on it. When I hovered, I was right there. Like, Daxter should have really hovered on it, or not hovered on it, grabbed onto the platform, so you may get, oh bloody hell, you may get, oh come on now. Not fair at all, guys. Yeah, you may get a little annoyed at these bookshelves because you just sometimes just don't grab on. Like there I did, but it's pretty picky about it. So the thing to look out for is these piles of books, which just, the piles of books blend into the background completely, so they're easy to miss, but that's what you're looking for. Whenever you want to try and get any sort of height, when you just try and use the flamethrower, you're not going to really get it, or it's just going to be awkward to do. So just look out for books. There we go. Books are always extremely helpful. That's my MO. That's the message I'm trying to spread to the children. I mean, with like my whole Let's Play channel, that's what it's all been about. It's spreading the wonders of books. Well, that's just not true at all, because I haven't read a book in 5 years. I've read books, but I haven't picked up a book and read it from start to finish in 5 years. And I've tried. I don't know. I think with this day and age, it's okay. This is one of the parts where you need to use your normal hover, because otherwise you're just going to go flying into the air and not make it. Yeah, I think it's because whenever I try and sit down and read a book, I'll like read it for about, read it for a couple of hours, start to get into it, but then I just can't find the time to sit down and just quietly read a book. I just can't do it. That's not to say I'm so extremely busy that I can't read books, that's a little silly to say, but I don't know, it's just hard to, because you can't listen to music when you read a book. When you're in a car or when you're in some sort of train or vehicle or something along those lines, it can be hard to concentrate on reading a book. Oh, this jump's also really annoying as well, because you got to drop like that. So I don't know. But that was my point about books, because there were books. So there we go. There is a few things that I missed, but this level can be long. Your first time playing it, you're probably going to take quite a while searching everything in this level, but for the sake of time, I'm just kind of burning through it. Because it's also not too bad to find all the precursor orbs, as long as you just take your time. But that section right there as well with the books, before I leave it, because that's it, we did it. You can spend a while in there, but I already did it, you know, don't mean to brag. That's the section that really reminded me of PS1 platformers, and N64 ones to a certain extent. Oh no, here are some more books. Silly me. Whoops. But yeah, it's this section then, not that last section. This whole section that just reminded me of just like, yeah, this is totally a PS1 platformer. And it's not even like a game in particular that I'm thinking of here. It just seems like, I don't know, it's just this section. And I think even in the review, I cut to a clip of this section when I was making that point, because this is where I felt it the most. I don't really feel it out at the moment, but that's because I've played this level multiple times, so I just don't get the nostalgia for older games when playing it anymore, because I've just played it too many times. But yeah, this was it, right here. This really was it, and I don't know. I guess that's why, well, I'm trying to think of the game that it would be, that, you know, the one where I'm drawing comparisons to this level, or to this section, to that game. And the closest I come up with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is so weird, because that's not like a big platformer. There's like, you would think I would think of Crash and Spyro, but in general, weirdly enough, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is what I go to when I think of PS1 platformers. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was an N64 kid, and I didn't play the Crash games till later, but I played Harry Potter when I was younger on the PC, and also at a friend's house. So maybe that's the reason why I jumped to Philosopher's Stone. I really need to play that game again. I do. I know it's not going to be good and not going to hold up, but oh dear, I'm going to die. This is like the hard... right here, okay. It's weird. This is like the hardest section in terms of enemies, because so far we haven't seen that many, or not a crazy amount, but then they just spam a load of them at you. So you kind of got to be careful. Like, look, there's just a ton of them. If you just ran through this section like you know, like you would instinctively would in this game, because whenever you don't have a gap to jump across, or I find this anyway, when you don't have a gap to jump across, you just run through, because enemies aren't that big of a deal. But if you try and do that with this section right here, there's so many of them, they're just going to surround you, and then that's it. No more Daxter. That's the end of him, I'm afraid. Okay, so yeah, so to get that over there, because see, we've now kind of gone all the way round, so now we're at the other side of where that was. Or where we were before. I think so anyway. But I'm going to give this one go, because as you can see there's some precursor orbs and stuff that you can get. So you just got to do this, and hit this, and then, oh god, it's the turning that does me in. Hey, there we go. That wasn't too bad. And that health is actually really useful. It's like the only helpful. I almost made a pun then by speaking. Damn it. Oh, which way do I go? Everything looks the same. Okay, it's pointed me in this direction, so it's got to be over here. I think I got to kill those enemies again, though. Oh, damn it. That's some tricky timing there. As you saw though, if you gotta be like precise when it comes to where you wanna, or where you aim yourself in terms of hovering, because otherwise you're just gonna clip the laser, and the hit detection isn't like terrible in this section or in the game in general, but it's not precise. It's not like you know, well crafted. Don't think that's the phrase I'm really looking for, but you know what I mean. It's not perfect, but sometimes you're going to get away with stuff you probably shouldn't have done, and sometimes you're just going to get unlucky and die. Like I did. Because I feel like I could have got away with that. I feel like sometimes I would have not died to those lasers and wouldn't have to kill all these enemies again. But I just got a little bit unlucky. Okay, so, oh dear, not going into those anytime soon. So that's the end of the book section. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this time. And look at this, just 3 precursor orbs just floating here. But we got most of them, as you can see. And I've kind of been barely going for them at all. I've been ignoring quite a lot, so I think in general this game isn't too hard to get all the precursor orbs in. You just got to have a bit of patience. So if you want to get all the gems, all the bug gems, the thing to look out for are these guys, because you can't see them unless you go up to them. So in this section, and also a section like this before, just go up to all the grass with your normal bug spray and just take them out like that. They're the only hidden enemies in this level as far as I'm aware. Otherwise you're just going to run into every single enemy. But if you can't find one, then the chances are it's probably one of those hidden enemies right there. Okay, so now we're like, apparently the Baron has a ton of gold. Oh, I've messed this up. And he has a ton of gold protected by a laser pit. But a weirdly specific laser pit. Like if one of these things just got tilted and started pouring the gold would have got electrified and possibly disintegrated into that laser field that we're floating above. So I don't really know why it's there. Well, the camera wasn't going to. Oh, the camera, no. The camera's not been too bad in this game. A lot of people with platformers, that's the go-to classic complaint. If there's something wrong with a platformer, or no, a 3D one, I should say, it's the camera. And I'm sure some people probably complain about the camera in this game, but honestly, never had any real problems with it. I don't know if you guys would agree, but during this LP, it's never been a problem. And a big part of that is because I move it a lot to keep it behind Daxter, and you can do that with the L and R buttons. And in fact, it's quite comfortable to do that. And in general, when I play 3D platformers, I'm just constantly moving the camera. And just 3D games in general, I guess. Like, I've been playing through Majora's Mask 3DS recently, because it came out and it's Majora's Mask, why not? And that has the C-stick, of course, which isn't really a stick, it's more just a little thing that you put pressure on. And then with that can be quite tricky because I'm constantly trying to move the camera but I can't do it. But in this game I can constantly move the camera because it's easy, L and R, so it's cool.
Dark Eco is a dangerous toy you're playing with, Errol. This map of the prison shows 5 inmates who have been exposed to this disgusting Dark Eco. All have died save one. Your weapons program is a failure.
Count Vega, you simply have no faith. This Jack person shows promise. The old hag Onan says he's special. What was that?
Ah, bugs! I hate bugs. They're everywhere these days. What was I saying? Oh yes, Light Eco is the key. If we can find the secret of the precursors,
The secret is fear, and turning our warriors into weapons with Dark Eco. We'll need something powerful to defeat the metalheads.
It will be your downfall. These Eco freaks will not save us.
Oh yeah, the roadmap to Jack. Nice going, little buddy. Give me a high claw.
Okay, so first of all, we had some foreshadowing there. I won't say how, but if you've played Jak 2 and 3, you know. So we get a little conversation there. And second of all, hey, Tick is a character. Everyone remember Tick? Yeah? The thing that kind of just showed up and is just there and with us now. So yeah, Tick's now around. So I hope you don't get too attached.
Good boy, Tick. No, these clothes won't fit me, but maybe Jack can use them.
And yeah, that's where Jack's clothes came from. In Jak 2, because Daxter gives him his clothes and Jack is all like, very well, he then talks for the first time and says something very, very aggressive. But yeah, that's where these came from. We get to see where Daxter picks up the clothes. Really, it doesn't matter at all. Like, it is such a insignificant detail, and when you break it down, it's like, yeah, you know what, whatever. Of course Daxter just found the clothes, he didn't make them. If it was a cutscene of him sewing, that would be interesting, but you know what, when I first played this game, as a fan of the series, I was like, ooh, that's the clothes!
I don't care what you say. We're doing our best.
Well, your best isn't good enough. Look, there are bugs even in your own establishment.
No! Dick?
That's how it's done. And you're next. Now you die!
Osmo!
Everything I've worked for, gone.
Don't worry. I'll get that blowhard metal bug for what he did. But I gotta go save my friend Jack. I'll just need a plan. Are you sure this is safe?
Trust me! You're looking radical, dude! Totally extreme!
Then lower away! This asshole is on a mission.
And it's totally possible!
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Well, things really got intense. The stakes really got up there pretty quickly. So we got all of Jack's stuff. We now know where Jack is, but Osmo has been attacked. His place has been blown up. So next time in Let's Play Daxter, we will tackle the final mission, Prison, and hopefully save the day for Jack and Daxter and all, and Osmo. Let's hope that he's okay. So I've been HonestTom23. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.